What makes a legend? What mix of courage, inspiration, and inner strength propels an ordinary individual to make history, to stand out from the rest of the populace, shape the world around them, become heroes or villains? I am Funky Monkey. Come with me now as we leave the House of Love behind and enter a new realm, the House of Legends.
Well, hey there, Internet, and welcome to my House of Legends, as we continue the legend of Shinji Ikari and his battle against the external threat of the angels and his own internal demons. And it's about to get a whole lot more complicated. Permit me to elaborate.
Released in 2009, You Can Not Advance begins the new direction of the Rebuild movies with a new character that will radically alter the course of Shinji's existence. Those naughty angels still have an axe to grind with humanity, but they'll have to get through a forceful foursome of Evangelion pilots and their somewhat faithful giant cyborg steeds. While new characters and Avas have been added, the plot still broadly follows the direction of the original series up to about episode 23, which was good enough for the fans, who awarded it an 89% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes.
So come with me once more down to Nerve HQ as we continue into the second chapter of the Rebuild of Evangelion. You Cannot Advance.
We're immediately introduced to our new protagonist, Mari, and she's got her work cut out as the third angel broke containment. But this cobbled together Ava's barely up to the job. So it's bye-bye Angel and Ava, Unit 5.
And all this, even before the title card.
Back at Nerve, father and son actually spend a few semi-social moments together. Okay, it's time to address the sensitive matter of Yui Ikari, Gendo's wife and Shinji's mother. Yui worked alongside Gendo in creating the Evangelions, but sacrificed herself to become the soul of Unit 1. This explains why Unit 1 was able to move and defeat the Angel after Shinji was incapacitated in his first battle. And she may yet be capable of other abilities. But it isn't too long before the next Angel shows up, which makes a perfect entrance for Ava Unit 2. And we're introduced to Unit 2's pilot, Asuka Langley Shikinami. Yes, originally in the series she was Asuka Langley Soryu. A cursory internet search suggests that the name change was to drive home the difference in the rebuild from the original show. Either way, Captain Shikinami, pride of the Pan-European Air Force, is incredibly proud of herself and her own abilities. Who'll also be staying with Misato. Our school chums take a trip to the Marine Research Center. Before the second impact, the oceans were teeming with life. Then, of course, a metaphysical catastrophe turned the water red and uninhabitable. Again, it's a very long story, and filled with biblical and Abrahamic references that I'd really prefer not to get into. And all too soon, the next angel approaches.
I just find it odd that out of all of these angels, this is the only one to have come down from the heavens.
And all three Avas are deployed. Our heroes race to the Angel's landing point, and Rei takes the win. Mari finally enters the fray, landing dramatically atop our hero. But even more shockingly, Rei's planning a dinner party. And when Unit 3 is transferred from the US, Asuka's on the bench. Until she bags the position of activation pilot. But oh dear, there's something wrong with Unit 3. All of which scuppers Rei's plan, as our hero is deployed to destroy the Angel in Ava's armor. But Asuka's still in there, which isn't a problem for Gendo. Gendo installed an automated dummy plug in Unit 1, ostensibly as a more humane way of controlling the Ava, but in reality, it's a measure of how little faith Gendo had in humanity at large, and his own son in particular. And our hero can only watch in horror as Unit 1 mercilessly achieves its objective.
Can't say that I've ever lost a friend like that. Make that 2 beers and a whiskey and cola, kiddo.
And so, Shinji Ikari terminates his involvement with Nerve.
And it falls to someone else to battle the inevitable next angel. But our new heroine is about to learn what it means to battle an angel at full power. Until she reveals the ace up her sleeve.
Beast Mode, wherein the Evangelion releases its restraints and uses all of its strength to battle.
But oh dear, it isn't enough. Even with the power of 2 Avas. But when the angel devours Unit 0, Rei and all, Shinji won't be denied. And the soul of Unit 1 awakens once more to grant Shinji his one desire, the girl he's fighting for. And so our movie ends with Shinji and Rei reunited once more. But at what cost?
And if you're wondering what just happened, all will be revealed in our next chapter. But for now, that was Rebuild of Evangelion Part 2. And it's a hard watch at times. But for its audacity alone, I'm still going to put it into the House of Legends.
I can definitely say that Shinji's outlook is a lot more justified in this one, as everything that he was fighting for seems to be ripped away, little by little. The trust that was beginning to grow between him and his father, the stability of his friendship with Rei, the home life of sorts with Masato, even as he'd finally seemed to get his bearings, juggling his nerve duties with the life of an ordinary high schooler. But it only took an automated override and the near death of Asuka to shatter it all. And let's talk about these women. Asuka is convinced of her own superiority, and subsequently all but fridged. Rei is the most ephemeral of presences, and yet Shinji moves heaven and earth to save her. And Mari? Well, for what we see of her and her agenda, Mari seems to actually like him, which will be crucial later on. And it wouldn't mean half as much if the vocal talents of Spike Spencer and Tiffany Grant as Shinji and Asuka respectively didn't play off each other so effectively. Brina Palencia's Rei is much slighter, a soft-spoken, almost monotone girl, and for what we get of Trina Nishimura's Mari, she just seems happy to be here. And again, the animation is beautiful, much as it can be, blending traditional and CG elements, even as the angels continue to be barely comprehensible shapes. But this is a brutal watch, as Shinji's psyche is broken down, first with the betrayal of the dummy plug, then with the 10th angel capturing Rei. It's more than an ordinary kid should ever have to take, and it ain't over yet. So, is it a good movie? Yes. Brutal in places, gradually darkening, but overall, it's definitely worth a watch.
And with that, we reach the halfway point of this terribly testing tetralogy. Next time, we move into our 3rd chapter, and meet the character that's been teased for these past 2 movies, Kaoru Nagisa. Until then, I've been Funky Monkey, promising you plenty more fun and frolics next time. See you there!
Hey folks, Funky again. If you liked the video, you know where that button is. Or why not consider subscribing and ringing the notification bell? And if you want to be extra awesome, you can check out my crowdfunding links. And if you're not fussed about any of it, that's okay too. So long!